In this video, we'll go over the steps of the writing process and how to follow them for either a timed essay or for a final research paper. The writing process is the series of steps you take in writing, from choosing your topic to finishing the final draft. The writing process can be divided into 3 basic steps: pre-writing, drafting, and revising. Each of these steps may include several smaller steps. Pre-writing is the planning and preparation you do before you begin writing. It includes choosing or understanding the topic, brainstorming by writing down all your ideas, and outlining or planning what points to include in each part of the essay. Drafting means writing the rough draft, or the first version of an essay. This is called the rough draft because it will probably be far from perfect. That is why you need the last step. Revising means making changes and corrections to the rough draft. Revising includes editing for clarity and style. It may include peer editing, asking another person to help you edit. And finally, it includes proofreading for errors in grammar, spelling, and punctuation. Now, let's go over each of these steps in a little more detail. Always start with pre-writing before you begin writing the rough draft. First, if you are responding to a prompt, read the prompt carefully and make sure you understand it. Make sure your essay directly and completely answers the question without going off topic or ignoring any part. Brainstorm by asking questions, making lists, or drawing mind maps. Brainstorming means thinking of as many ideas as you can and writing them all down. It does not have to be neat or organized, as long as it helps you think. Outline the main ideas and supporting details you plan to discuss in each paragraph. If you have a plan, even a simple one, writing the rough draft will be much easier, and it can save you from running into problems like running out of ideas or forgetting what you wanted to say next. Once you have finished pre-writing, it's time to begin drafting. Follow your plan. Be sure your essay has an introduction, body, and conclusion. Have a clear thesis statement at the end of the introduction, and begin each body paragraph with a topic sentence, which gives the main idea of the paragraph and directly supports the thesis statement. Support your points with specific details, reasons, and examples. Be sure your ideas are clearly and fully developed. Make sure none of the paragraphs are too short or too long. In general, each paragraph should be about 5 to 8 sentences. This includes the introduction and the conclusion. Try to use correct grammar and formal vocabulary. This may save you some work in revising. Stay on topic. Everything should support the thesis. When the rough draft is done, you're not finished yet. The last step is revising. You should always reread your writing and make improvements and corrections before turning it in. Make changes to sections that are too wordy or repetitive, unclear, off-topic, or not fully developed. Feel free to take out words or sentences, add new ones, or move things around. The results should be clear, concise, and informative. Check for mistakes in grammar, spelling, and punctuation. For example, look for incorrect verb forms, missing or unnecessary commas, and misspelled words. Check for slang or informal language. Try to keep your language formal and academic. If allowed, ask a tutor or peer to read your work. Other people may help you catch problems that you did not notice. Now, let's talk about how to follow these steps during a timed writing test. First, prepare ahead of time as much as possible. If you know what kinds of topics might be covered, write down some possible ideas and try doing practice writing with an example prompt. Plan how to use your time. How much time will you take for pre-writing, drafting, and revising? Here is a recommended plan. Take 15% of the allowed time for pre-writing, 60% for drafting, and another 15% for revising, which will leave 10% extra in case you need a little more time for one of the steps. For a 2-hour essay, that means taking about 18 minutes for pre-writing, about 72 minutes for drafting, or just under 15 minutes per paragraph, and about 18 minutes for revising. While you are taking the test, stay positive and don't forget to breathe. Watch the clock and be careful not to take too much time for any of the steps, but don't skip any. If you take time for pre-writing at the beginning and revising at the end, your writing will be much better quality. Keep your outline simple. You should plan what to write in each paragraph, but you may not have time for a very detailed plan before you begin drafting. When drafting, follow your outline and stay on topic. You probably will not have time to make changes to your plan while you are writing. Be careful to leave time for revising. One of the biggest mistakes students make in timed writing is spending so much time writing that they have no time to edit or proofread their work. If you use your time well, it will pay off. Finally, let's talk about how to follow the writing process when you are writing over a longer period of time, such as writing a research paper over a semester. Get started as soon as possible and spread the work out over time. If you have a paper due at the end of the semester, it's best to start as soon as you get the assignment and do some work on it every week. Make a schedule and set goals and deadlines for each step. For example, decide when you want to complete an outline or when you want to have the rough draft finished. Feel free to go back to earlier steps and make changes if necessary. For example, after you begin your rough draft, you might change your mind about what to include in the outline. That's okay. You can always go back and make changes. The writing process does not have to be a straight line from start to finish. Take plenty of breaks to refresh your mind after each step you finish. Take some time away from your work, and you'll come back to it with better focus and new ideas. If allowed, ask others to read your writing and give feedback. This can include friends, classmates, family members, or tutors. It's always helpful to get a new perspective. Finally, don't hesitate to ask for help. If you are struggling with part of the writing process, you can always talk to me. I am always happy to discuss your work with you and provide feedback to help you make sure your writing is the best it can be.